Okay, so today we are wrapping my first mail out to someone, which I find very exciting. These are going to Saiya Summers, who is another author, and I get to take all the swag that I have been collecting and make a pretty package out of it. So this book is Faye Fatale, and it is about a young girl who can't stand being touched, discovering that she is a water fae while she tries to figure out who is murdering people in her neighborhood. So, I mean, what do you even say? Like, oh no, doesn't want to write. Oh my god, I don't even know what to say. Well, she is another author. So, and I have read her books. Which I'm not being self-deprecating here. This book was one of the first books that I tried to publish, and I did not clearly define a genre, so it fits in like 4 genres. It's an oddball of a book. So there's the signature, and then with books, I should probably put the year. I have an embosser, which is totally like unnecessary, but I love it, and I'm always terrified that I'm going to tear the page when I do this. So this has my logo and my name on it, and it mildly damages the page, but not bad. And so you can see that I am in fact the person who signed this. Not that I have, you know, loads of people leaping out to fake things. And then I have an About the Author page and an author stamp. Because I had so much fun coming up with swag and things I could do to my books. And I very rarely... Oh no! Let's try that again. Sorry, Saiya, I have to do it twice. I had so much fun coming up with things to do to my books that it wasn't even funny. Like, I just had a lot of fun coming up with swag and artwork I'd like done, and I just emboss anywhere I sign. So this is kind of an Easter egg page, because unless you read the book, you're not going to know I signed the author page too. So that's the first one, and it's going to get wrapped. And here's the second one. I don't have the most legible signature, but could be worse. I mean, like, it's printed on the page, so you can kind of assume that that's who signed it. And I always want to do these right side up. Probably should have signed down further, but that's okay. And then go back. And I do have another ink pad, but I thought like black was too stark. I don't know why I thought a flesh tone would be better. Here's my like swag page. If you find typos in my books and you contact me and give me your address, I will send you swag, because I want to fix any typos in my books, and hunting those things down are like roaches. So I try to encourage my readers, if you see one, to let me know. And like, don't let me know through Amazon, because Amazon is is a dick about it. Go to my webpage and just message me, or find me on Facebook. That information's in the back of the book. I know I'm pressing like really hard and rocking it in the hopes that this one will not mess up. Okay, so that's the signing part. Let me close up the stamp pad so that it doesn't dry out more. And now you get to see me try to figure out how exactly I'm going to wrap these. So I got tissue paper, and Kate Hall has this adorable folding pattern that she uses. And I want to do it too. So we're gonna see. Oh, it's not gonna let me. Let's try for it again. This is kind of a chunky book. Maybe I didn't get big enough paper. We'll find out. Well, we'll find out. Let's try. So line it up like this. You want to kind of line it up with the edge of the book. And kind of fold it tightly. This is all experimental because I haven't had to send out paper copies before. So this is kind of new. It's going to be all wrinkled. Sorry, Saiya. I hope that's how you say your name. There's that. Like that. So there's the first step. And oh, where did I put the tape? I did not leave it on the desk. I don't want to use tape though. I want to use stickers. So I want to sticker on the outside. This is so terrible. It's completely off-center, that's okay. Let me see what stickers I grabbed. Okay, I grabbed a giant one. It's supposed to be on the outside of the disc. Outside of the package, but how about, will this be big enough? This is the wrong book. This is Stella from this book up here. Let's see if this one will be big enough. I had intended to use this as a sticker inside the package that you can keep as swag. You know, I should still do that. It seems kind of like I'm full of myself to use this gigantic sticker, but I didn't think they'd be this big when I ordered them. So it definitely came in size huge. Try to make this look somewhat neat for my first attempt. That worked. And you're gonna have to forgive me for 1 second while I grab tape. My doggo has come to investigate what I'm doing. Hi, Birdie. She says, "What are you doing, Mom? Does it involve food?" It does not. Sorry. Okay, so I'm going to kind of Christmas package the bottom here. I'm not the world's best at wrapping. But, you know, you get the intent behind it, and maybe I just need to get some bigger paper. Bigger paper would not hurt at all. Ah, I do not need to have gratuitous dog fur in this. Okay, so this book is Faye Patel, which means that I have these 3 lovely pieces of character art for it. This is Haken and Rowan and Aspen. Rowan and Aspen are twins. And this is a young adult book. The main character can't stand being touched, and the characters are all very young. So like this is not a steamy book. But I'll hide this in here so we have like a surprise. And then she also writes zombie post-apoc, but she writes a Megaverse zombie post-apoc. And so I'm going to sneak in. Let me lift this up a little. It won't let me? No, it won't. That won't work. Need a better plan for next time. Well, I'll stick in a bookmark, and I'm going to kind of center it so it says like zombies in the middle. And she actually gets 2 packages because I don't have any boxes because I have never had to ship anything. So here is the first one. And I think I'll put I like that. So let me seal this up. And they will be shipped separately to her. Obviously, I am not going to show her real name or her real address on here. Because I'm not going to out her if that's actually a pen name. Or if that actually, is a pen name. So I'll do a sticker on the back so she knows who it's from, and it holds it shut. And then let's try this again. And this time I'm going to actually, these ones are a little different in that they're meant to be colored, and I don't want them to get damaged because it'll mess with that. I mean, like, they're not perfect prints. That was some dust on there. But like, this is Birch. These are the 4 love interests. This is their Fae. This is the Fae Prince. His name is Rhodes. And these 3 guys are from the other courts, and they're his personal court. And this is Oakley, Wilder, and Birch. And there are 4 Fae courts in this one, which is fun to work with. So let me take that shut. Does this have sticky on it? It does. Let's see if it actually sticks. Okay, so let me get the wrapping paper. And Faye Patel is not yet up on my TikTok store, but the second book, Orphan Lost, this is the first book in a trilogy. The second book is written, has had the first round of edits, and is going to an editor on November 1st, because that's what fit for his schedule, and that's what fit for my budget. And green is my color, in case you couldn't see. Let me put this away. In this book, she is a human girl who makes a pretend marriage. I wonder if it looks better sideways. No, that would not work. Would it? Maybe. Let's try. She does like a pretend marriage. Yeah, that's not going to work. With these Fae princes to break them out of an arranged marriage is what it boils down to. And then, because she's a military brat, and because the boys don't want her to be in any danger, they wipe her memory, and she just leaves. So, like, she made up this marriage while she was, like, 12, when she overheard them, and then she just vanishes into the wild blue yonder, like they just never see her. And that's the prologue, and when you get to chapter 1, her parents have been killed in the ongoing conflict in the East, and she is now a military orphan on the orphan bus, looking for a home. And the town where she finds a home is the town that these Fae have taken over and the Fae boys are in. Ooh, this looks like it's actually gonna fit. Beautiful. Okay, let's try this. But she doesn't remember them. She doesn't remember them, but they remember her. And so that causes all sorts of drama, as it should, because books are fun when full of drama. Real life drama is not so fun, books are fun. But this court of 4 boys has to figure out what to do with a human girl who doesn't trust them, doesn't believe them, doesn't have any reason to believe or trust them, and is all up in their business. Oops, come on, hold over. There you go. Just a little bit of you. The only proof they have of any of this happening is the scar on her cheek, which she has had tattooed over. You can see it in the little sticker here. It's also on the cover. It's also on book 2's cover. And that becomes important later, but it's a distinguishing feature. I'm going to take a little piece of tape here. Focus down. This one's going a little better. I think I need larger. Maybe it isn't going better. Maybe it isn't. We'll see. No, it's definitely not. We'll figure it out. And this side. And so the book is a lot of the boys trying to figure out what to do with her, and her not trusting or wanting anything to do with said boys. Which, I mean, like, she has no reason to. I think it's a little unrealistic that even with the fated mate bond they have, for her to just suddenly, oh, this is terrible, for her to just suddenly trust them. So she doesn't. Sorry, Saiya. Okay. So what should I do? I'm going to take an envelope with the 4 boys and put it here. And then this. Going to go here and close at the end like I should. There's a lot of whoopsing going on. You can tell I don't do this very much, and I'm just kind of figuring it out. Most of the people who have read my books have read digital copies. It's not very common for anyone to buy a paper copy, which is fair. Like, I have them on Kindle Unlimited for a reason. I want everyone to be able to read my books and try out a new author and not have to pay through the nose for it. There we go. What should I do with the stickers here? Let me tuck the bookmark back here maybe, and tuck the 2 little stickers in this pocket. No, that doesn't work. Like, I'm reluctant to use the stickers to close this because they're kind of pretty. Oh well, you're gonna get giant name sticker again. Go me. There's that. And then I already sealed this, of course, so I'm going to pop it. Oh no. Okay. I think it would look better if I just put everything in this envelope where it's all nice and protected and shiny and definitely not torn open from my efforts. And then tuck the envelope in like this. How does that look, guys? So this is Orphan Lost. And I'll put that in here. And hold it tight. Oh, that one's a little sticky. And I kind of never had to ship more than one book at a time. So she gets 2 separate packages, which is like twice the fun, right? And I will print out an official mailing address and everything on it. I am not the most subtle of authors, so it just has my address on it. I don't have a P.O. box. There is no way to have a P.O. box in the village that I live in. It is tiny. And so instead, you'll get, if you order my books, you'll get a package from me with some swag, some signatures, some stamping, some embossing, and you probably need to tell me if I've gone overboard. Yeah, so that was everything that I was going to do tonight on stream. Oh my god, I didn't answer you. I'm so sorry. Thank you. These are 2 books that I'm mailing to another author as part of a giveaway. And she is a zombie post-apoc Omegaverse author. So that's kind of a mouthful. I also write zombie post-apoc, but mine's reverse harem and not Omegaverse. And then these are, one is paranormal romance reverse harem and the other is urban fantasy reverse harem. But these are ready to go, so I'll just print out her shipping labels and maybe she'll do an unboxing video. I'll suggest it to her and then you can see her reaction. I might have gone overboard with the swag, but I really like making swag. So have fun and have a good night. I don't know how to hang this up. It's a mystery. Let's see. Well, I don't know how to hang up, so I guess you guys are going to watch me color. So I have just wrapped 2 books for someone who I'm mailing them to and put all kinds of swag in here because swag is fun. And for my swag, a lot of it is coloring pages. And so I will often sit on stream and color swag, and then I haven't decided, because I haven't done enough of it yet, if I should have the swag that I color be something you can order, or just randomly surprise people with terrible coloring. So let me grab another set. So these are the other types that I have for this particular book. And this is the one I've colored so far. This is Rhodes. He is the Fey Prince in Orphan Lost. And the main love interest. Being reverse harem, there are 4 love interests. And what I usually do with these is I color them with Ohuhu markers. And then use colored pencils on them. So there's Rhodes, and I'm thinking this is Oakley, this is Wilder, this is Birch. Oakley is kind of the doesn't like the main character, female main character, wants to protect his buddy Rhodes, thinks this is all a terrible idea, it's going to go wrong, and is constantly trying to mitigate that. Wilder has been crushed ever since they wiped the female main character's memory and didn't want to leave her, and has been drinking a little more than he should, and that's one of the plots, side plots. And Birch just wants to keep the peace, like he's super zen. So I think I'll start with him. And let's see, which one did I grab here? Good. So he is Hispanic. I mean, he's Fey, but appearance, he is Hispanic. And so I need to find some good colors for him. 618 maybe? I have like a million markers, so it'll be a second while I find the Artezas. And let's see, 618, here it is. So this is going to look terrible before it looks good. I'm just going to warn you in advance. Like, we go from this postcard that's a colored, like a colored pencil page, to a finished product, and in the middle stages it's just ugly, so be warned. And there's going to be a couple layers of marker, because as you can see, it does streak a little bit. The Artezas aren't as bad at that. They're a more expensive marker, but it still will do it. The nice thing about alcohol markers is they don't really get progressively darker as you layer them. So this will smooth out a little as I put a second layer on. But this is Birch. Rhodes is fall and Birch is spring. Like he's from the spring court. Rhodes is the prince of the fall court. Birch is not royalty, but he is part of Rhodes' personal court. Let me make sure this is lined up okay. And it is beautiful. So let me get his base colors in. Birch is very much the peacekeeper in this group. He wants everyone to be happy. He's empathetic. Like, I guess if you're going by tropes, he'd probably be like the golden retriever, maybe. But he's empathetic, and he likes Stella, the female main character, and he gets why she's upset and doesn't trust them. But he's doing his best to like convince her that they are not the bad guys in this situation. The artwork I've got here is not my own work. The coloring is obviously in all of its glory. But the artwork is by Chelsea Akira. I don't know if I said her name right. I have her friended on Instagram. She does amazing artwork, and she was nice enough when she did the artwork for me to grab the line art so I could have coloring pages. As you can see, like, layering again helps smooth things out. Don't want harsh edges. Oh my god, I'm sorry. There was totally just a fungus gnat there. My mother just died, and the amount of plants that we have gotten in the house is kind of crazy. And one of them, I don't know which one, I haven't figured out which one yet, has fungus gnats. 630 looks like the brown I want for his hair. Which is not a complaint about people being kind and bringing gifts. It's just how do I get rid of fungus gnat situation. 18. I forgot to color his ear, and that was bugging me. There we go. It was probably bugging me too. Okay. These markers have like a little bullet nib on one side, which is nice, but not my preferred coloring method. Excuse me. So yeah, like this year has been a country song. My husband shattered his leg, my dog died, the car broke down, my mother died, and now I have a chest cold. And so if I'm coughing, I'm sorry. There is only so much I can do about that. I like how Chelsea does eyebrows. And I like the little extra lines she does, because when I do the pencil work, that looks good. It makes me look good, like I know what I'm doing. And I tried initially with this series to keep each court split by ethnicity, but like there's intermarrying between the courts for like treaties and stuff, and it was just too like tidy and like affected to be believable, so I gave up on that pretty quickly. But all four of these guys are from different courts. And Birch is Spring Court. As the reader, you don't know a lot about his family life except that he was forced to leave his own court to become part of Rhodes Court very young. And it's kind of implied that it's some sort of like a prisoner exchange. But it's to keep the peace. If you look, you'll see that Rhodes has two colored eyes, and that is a royal thing. Like the heirs to his throne of the Fall Court all have two colored eyes. But you can have the eyes without being the heir. I don't know, I wasn't too tidy with that. Doesn't make sense. Probably should have fixed it in revision. But he is the only one with that type of two-colored eyes. Everybody else has very logical, like, matches themselves eyes. I have to remember to keep what I'm working on where the camera can see it, and I'm not used to doing that. Oops, missed a spot. Okay, and what should I do for your skin tone? I think, like, boys are easier with skin tones for their lips. If you start with something that matches their skin and then, like, add blush, and not like girls where you can just do a lipstick color. So I probably should have colored that in already. So we're gonna blush him up here in a few minutes. And he's spring court. So, like, what would be good colors for him? Blue is a good option, maybe. Blue with a white shirt, maybe? What have I got for blues? Like, what would be striking but not completely blind you to his hair? Well, these ones I want for his shirt. Like, that's pretty obvious. Maybe I should do his shirt first and see what color blue goes well with both his shirt and hair and skin. This color here is a little enticing. It's on this one. Oh, these are Copics. I have very few Copic markers because they are just ridiculously expensive. I'm going to do blue for the background. Probably want a neutral gray. So like 633 maybe? Rain gray is what Ortega has called this. Orteza. I mean, that seems appropriate. He's a spring character. I do, in fact, clean my tabletop after I do this, but you still end up with little smudges. Cross hatch a little to get rid of some of that. Well, that didn't help that much. Maybe I should have just gone with the low of the skin. There we go. And then this blue is B110. Like, I don't think I like that. Maybe I should do a purple on the background. Rain purple. Rainflower purple V322. It's not my purple bag. Where did I put my purple bag? Here we go. Okay, 322. Maybe if I did all the same color on this set of guys for the background, it would good. There we go. And as I haven't tested this, I think I want a darker purple. 340. 340. Yeah, that works better. This way it contrasts nicely with his hair and his shirt. And it'll be a little uneven in the background, that's okay. I can fix it with colored pencils. I can fix it by doing another layer. It's just kind of the nature of the beast. Working with alcohol markers. And this isn't too dissimilar from what I did for Rhodes, so that works out. And of course, these are just portrait style images of my characters. So I'm not doing any fancy lighting or anything. The line art and the colored versions that I have online are done by Chelsea Hyra. I'm not 100% sure how to say her name. And she does beautiful, like, cartoon style artwork, but she's really in demand. And she had hurt her wrist a little while back, so she's taking a little bit of a break now and then. And I will have to wait a little bit to commission her again, or I would have more of these images. Okay, and if I want to do, I have to keep in mind, and this bit me with Rhodes, that blushing him might bleach the marker a little. 613 maybe? 613. 15. Here it is. And I remember, yeah, that's a little rough. I definitely don't want to go in with a thick end. I love how this artist Those noses, like they're just cute. I really like them. Okay. 03 for the cheeks maybe. And I will want to go with a larger brush for that. Yeah. So I'm like blushing areas that have more blood vessels, and I will actually cool areas that have less. 639. Let's try this and see how it goes. And that's all I really do with the markers for this. I switch to colored pencil, which are Prismacolor. And I love working with Prismacolor. And if you're wondering how I can afford them because they're ridiculously expensive, what I usually do is I wait for the end of the school year when colleges are getting out of session. And I look online on eBay especially, but Facebook works too, for postings from students who are graduating and don't want their colored pencils anymore. And so I have multiple times gotten a set of like, I think there's 320 in one of them or something, 240, 320, I don't remember. It's a lot. For about $45. Let me put you somewhere safe. I have to gather up all of my swatches. I almost forgot to do that. Okay. Okay. So I wasn't as careful with the marker about writing on my desk because alcohol marker washes off pretty easily, but colored pencil can damage the edges. Let's see what I've got for colors here. And for this section, for the skin tones here, I am actually using the Crayola skin tone set. Which does some amazing varieties of light, mediums, and darks of different skin tones with different undertones. There's like an olive tone, and a warm and a neutral and a cool. And then there's like a warm and a neutral and a cool of dark tones too, which is not something you see very often. I didn't see an olive dark tone, but I don't know if that's a thing, so I might just be dumb. Excuse me. So even though these markers are just Crayola, they are nicer for skin tones than my Prismacolors. Easier, I should say, not necessarily nicer. and I am not making this to be light fast. And that's part of why I am hesitant to sell these, is because they're not light fast, and that would be unfair if you wanted to keep something for like decades. Let me blend out this. But this color of, or this set of skin tones is really nice because it is really boring to color exactly the same skin tone all the time. Like, this is not a Disney princess book, okay? Like, these are real characters. They each have their own skin tone. Because even if you're in the same family, there's a chance that you won't be able to use the same foundation as like your sister, or that's just how it is. And so the Crayola set of skin tones is really nice for this. Birdie, what are you doing? Birdie bird? Okay. Birdie is my dog, by the way. I heard suspicious noises from the other side of the room and needed to make sure she was not destroying anything. I'm going to sharpen the cheek a little bit here. One of the things that you have to keep in mind when working with colored pencil is you can layer them a lot, but you can't glaze the colored pencils until you're done. So you can't press too hard while you're layering, or you'll just get that initial wash of color and nothing will stick to it over that. I say it's accidentally glaze. But I want to work in another shade here, so I will be needs a little bit more color here. And that came, let me find what set that came from this set of prints. That was medium golden is what this color is called. So I want dark golden. Where is that? Almond. It's rose. Almond. It's rose. Okay, so I want medium deep golden, I think. No. That's a darker and more desaturated. And it would work. That would work. Okay. dark enough. Let me switch the tone up. That works better. If you want to look at colored pencils, on YouTube, a woman named Sarah Renee Clark has done extensive testing on all sorts of, whoops, that was a little dark, all sorts of brands of colored pencils, testing how well they blend, how smooth they are, the whole 9 yards for hours and hours and hours. And her results are just amazing and super helpful. So if you want to find colored pencils that do what you want them to and are within your price range, she tests a variety of price ranges and rates the best ones for that. So her name is Sarah Renee Clark, and I adore her channel. She's cheerful and upbeat and very meticulous about testing art supplies. Like, that's her shtick. She also does coloring books and coloring. There's like a live stream of her coloring, which may have given me the idea for this. But she has a much larger following than I do. I just wanted to do live streams and wasn't 150% sure of what I should do on them. So sometimes I wrap packages and put swag in them, which is what I was doing here earlier tonight. And sometimes I color. Because listening to someone try and tell you why you should buy their book is just boring. You'll notice I'm leaving the very edge of his jaw lighter, and that's because I'm going to do some moon light on him like I did with Rhodes. And your coloring looks better when you remember to do little circles, which I do not always remember. So there is the base and the dark tones. And now I need to find a light golden, a very light golden, I think is what I want. To add the limb light. And this I am absolutely glazing, trying to get it to show up. Nope. It is just not as waxy of a colored pencil as it needs to be to show up there. So that's my fault. Okay. Light golden, very light golden. Okay. So now I can switch away from the skin tones and work with Prismacolor. I know guys don't usually wear makeup, but a little bit of eyeliner is just kind of cute. And getting someone's eyes to line up right when you're coloring is a pain. It's not as nerve-wracking as when you're working with paint, because you can absolutely tweak it, but it's still nerve-wracking. And this is actually not a black, this is indigo. So it's time to work on his hair. I want the indigo because it stands out a little bit better. And I need a lighter tone for this one too. Let's test this one, see how it works. It does. It's not quite what I want. How about this one? Yeah, that's a better fit. Are these the same one? No, they're not. Okay, good. They're from two different Prismacolor sets, so I wasn't sure there for a second. Giving hair texture is just kind of zen, and I enjoy doing it. I love that this artist, when she did this work for me, her name's Chelsea Achira. Not 100% sure how to say that. Like, really put a lot of texture into their hair. Oops. Breaking lead. Prismacolors are notorious for doing that. They have very soft, waxy, like almost oily lead, and they will break so easily, and sometimes they'll break and the sharpening process is a nightmare because it just breaks over and over again, and it's just, there's no telling when they'll do it. In this case, it's because I used a particularly long pencil sharpener that makes a very long lead and used too much pressure, but if they break on you, if you have Prismacolors, it's not you. So this character is Birch. He is one of the prince's court. This is the prince in Orphan Lost. They're fae, but in the human world they don't look like fae. And he is from the spring court. He's the peacekeeper of the group. He likes to try and keep everybody happy. He's very empathetic. And when the main character, who doesn't remember that she's married to all these guys, and rightfully does not believe that she's married to all these guys, is hostile and hard to deal with, he is the most empathetic towards her because he can see, like, guys, we played a fast one on her and now she doesn't trust us, and that's kind of our own fault. And I totally get where she's coming from. And the book that he comes from, I should probably put up here so you can see it. It is a paranormal romance reverse harem with fae princes, and it is part of a 3-book trilogy. The first book is out. The second book hits my editor's desk on November 1st. And this is the first time I've been working with this editor, so I'm kind of excited. I like really snarky edits. Like, don't hold back, give me your, like, ridiculous opinions on whatever I've done in the book, and make it funny. Because I really enjoy edits, and I really enjoy the commentary that a good editor will put in there, like their, you know, their character or sense of humor or any of that. Like, sassy's okay, snarky's okay, sarcastic's okay. All of those things make me really happy with an editor. Okay, so there's his hair. I'm going to try rim lighting again, or rim lighting. I don't actually know what it's called, but I'm going to do it with white, maybe? Let me look. What colors do I have here? No, I'm going to try this beige. Oh, that works way better than the Crayola did. It just kind of brings the lighting in the back forward. And also softens the lines a little, which I like. Is it too much for his hair? A little bit. I could do a little. So this character is from the Spring Court. He's like kind of like a golden retriever, that particular stereotype of a character. He's empathetic, he's just nice. And not like, I'm a good guy, I'm nice, let me put the nice coin currency in and get what I want out of it. Like, no. He doesn't want anything for being nice. He's just nice. Which, you know, if you want to argue about stories being realistic, may or may not be realistic. But that's how I see him. Okay, and now I need a gray for his shirt, and it needs to be a neutral gray. I'll get my pencil spot there, so that I can get to the bottom set. What's that? Cool gray. This is neutral gray. Green gray. Neutral gray. I think this is a cool gray, actually. Yes. Is that a mistake? That might have been a mistake. I don't have any erasers, so we're just going to work with it. To be fair, colored pencil does not erase very well. I'm going to soften this, I think, with a second gray. But he's from Orphan Lost. He's not my favorite character. You'll have to guess who that is. But I do like him a lot. And I feel he's like the most understanding to the main character. I need to wash his cheeks, don't I? Okay, first let's find a lighter version of this gray so that I can better with this. Yes. Ironically, most of the time, if you ask me who my favorite character is in any of my books, it is not one of the main characters or the love interest or anything like that. Which I guess gives you a hint on who it is in Orphan Lost. There's only so many options. Getting a little punch drunk here, so I'm not as careful about this as I should be. It's like when you get to the end of a drawing and you're like, oh my god, let me be done. My hand hurts, I'm tired, and you don't want to like set it aside because you know that you're never going to come back and finish it if you do. Like, tell me I'm not the only person who does that. There we go. So I'm happy with that. Let's blush him. Let's see, is this... That's good for the lips. Maybe not. Maybe that's good for the cheeks. And what I'm doing here is I'm just smoothing out the blush a little, because when the two shades of a hoo-hoo marker, I guess these were Arteza markers, hit each other, one was dry and one was wet, so it made the edges bleed a little. Like it made a defined edge, and I didn't want that. So there's that. I want to do some highlights on his nose. He looks tired now. I'm not sure that was better. Let's go for this shade for his lips, I think. I have to go real light. Forgot to shade under his lip, and that is unfortunate. Let me grab a color for that. I won't come to that. Have to go back to the Crayolas for that. Completely forgot to shade there. And why do these Baymen not have stubble? Magic. It's magic. It's because I don't want to color stubble right now. I'm lazy. But secretly it's magic. Let's see if this is the right. No, it won't. Let's see what else we have. I got this. That'll work. And what I'm doing here on the final stages is I'm just smoothing out some of the background so that it isn't as blotchy. It's not a perfect color match. But it's a little lighter than some areas and darker than others, and that's what I need. It gives it a little bit of depth. Yeah, see there, it was much too dark and it lightened it up nicely. And here it darkens it. And the last thing I do usually is add the highlights. So let me grab, just make sure there's no dog behind me so that I don't run over some puppy's tail. Going to add little bitty points. What else? Usually the lips are a little reflective too. I think I want just a little more of a peachy pink. On the inside of his eyes. Because everybody has that like pink area right there. And I think I didn't account for that on the inside and outside of his eye. And that's it. Where can I write his name? It doesn't really fit above his head. It'll fit. There you have it. 2 of Rhodes Fey Court. Rhodes is fall and Birch is spring. I think I did better on the second one. I'm getting better as I do this. And I think that's everything. So have a good night. I hope that someday I get to ship you books and fill them full of swag. And have fun. Let's see. Mute, flip, settings, comment. Oh, there's a million settings, but none of them are like how to hang up.